Very good afternoon to you, and it's a brand new day, the 10th day of July 2025. How are you all doing, and how is your portfolio doing? It's green all over the place, and we are experiencing a bull run right now in the Nigerian exchange. I hope that you are getting along very well and your stocks are doing fantastic. We are flying off in this second half of the year 2025, and that's because we are experiencing some kind of uncertain bull runs. But indeed, it's a reflection of what I have always said in this daily live session, that as bond rates begins to lower, the stock market will benefit, and therefore so many stocks are running as we speak right now. Congratulations to everybody who bought Zenith Bank at 43 Naira in the course of the CBN forbearance issues. You bought Zenith at 43 Naira. As we speak now, it's above 60 Naira per share. All of a sudden, all happening within 2 weeks. Congratulations, everybody. And thank you very much for joining all across the platforms on TikTok, on Instagram, and on YouTube. I'd like to have you participate massively as you can, because we have our hands full. We have a lot to talk about. Every stock we bought yesterday is jumping, and we are in that season of the stock market when almost everything goes. And what we have as a responsibility for us here is to continue to guide us, to point us to the right direction, and to, by all means, avoid any kind of losses. There used to be a time when cash is king, but as I speak to you right now regarding the NGX, cash is no longer king, because wherever your cash is in any stock, it should be making very good progress. So you know how we do it. Keep liking the live session wherever you are watching from, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. Share this live session and help as many more people as possible out of this rat race of working 9 to 5 and packing shifts here and there. I am out of the rat race effectively, and I've been out of the rat race for the past 5+ years. And I can tell you it can happen for you also. There is no better life than a life where you determine and take full control of your time, because that's what wealth is all about. Wealth is not just about acquiring assets and having money here and there. Wealth is about having time for yourself and doing what you love doing. So I'm sitting here today on a working day, Thursday, the 10th of July, speaking to you because I have built wealth to a particular extent that I can now be able to do what I love to do, and that's mentoring and coaching. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. Now, let's go on to your comments. Before I do that, it's important for us to go on to the market briefs so I can give you updates about what's going on in the markets. First of all, we need to remember yesterday, the ongoing rally in the Nigerian equities market widened the gap between blue chip firms and other listed companies, as a total of 19 out of the 150 listed firms contributed to 82.39%. or 62.578 trillion naira of the 75.95 trillion naira market capitalization. All right? 19 blue chip firms. That's talking about the biggest companies and the big growth stocks, cutting across the cement makers, financial institutions, oil and gas, telecoms and agriculture, and fast-moving consumer goods and power-generating companies, all ensured the drive for the market capitalization. Both foreign and domestic investors' demand for these companies has impacted the Nigerian exchange, and it gained about 5.49 trillion and 13.2 trillion in June and the half year respectively. So massive influx of foreign portfolio investment is coming into the Nigerian market, as well as, of course, domestically, there is more awareness and people are now beginning to see, oh, really, such a thing exists. Maybe you are one of such people joining us for the first time. You are not in the wrong place at all. And I can tell you, you can join us and be a part of this live session on a daily basis. Go onto my YouTube channel, watch through all of the videos, take notes, and begin to take your baby steps. We will guide you all the way to ensure that you too begin your wealth creation journey. So that's about a quick rundown or review of what happened yesterday in the market. I'll go straight on to your comments now. Emmy Stevens says, I'm glad to be here. Frank Umar says, good day, coach. Receive strength in Yeshua's name. Amen. Thank you very much for that prayer. We all need this strength. We all need this encouragement to keep coming out fresh and keep firing on all cylinders. I can assure everybody who joined us even as late as a month ago, if you started buying stocks here, you must have started making money. That's what we vowed from the beginning of the year 2025 in January. On the first trading day of January 2025, I told all of you here that we will make money this year. Are we making money or not? Now you are talking. Thank you very much. Good to be here with you, Moses Omonori. What do you think of Veritas Cap? Well, Veritas is still trying to recover from the shock it suffered in terms of the disappointment experienced after the full year result. So much was expected of Veritas, and so many stock investors are being very careful with that stock. In any case, they still do very well. They are in the life insurance sector of the Nigerian insurance space, and they seem to know how to manage money, but I do not know what ate into their results, especially their profits. In any case, they are also enjoying some level of bull runs because we saw Veritas under 1 naira for so long. Now we saw it close yesterday at 1 naira 14 kobo. As we speak, Veritas today is 1 naira 20 kobo per share. Current bid and offer status before me says 25 million bids versus 8 million offers. So the bids are more than the offers, which means there is great interest there. Some of you may be wondering what's really going on. I've got good news for you regarding this bull run, because when the banks join the bulls, then you know the bull run has just started full blown. All right? All along, I kept telling you, all we're seeing so far is penny stock bull run. But guess what? The banks are now coming in. So if you do not have a bank stock, then you want to look at those that have not moved, especially the tier 1 banks, the Fugas banks, if you like, right? It's important to take position in them because they will all fly. And you may be wondering, what's making the banks jump? For instance, UBA is 39 naira per share. Can you believe that? GT Bank is 90 naira per share. Can you believe that? I was right yesterday when I told you that GT was going to be listed on the London Stock Exchange. Guess what? GT Bank has been listed on the London Stock Exchange, and anybody who uses Trading 212 or any foreign brokerage app, go ahead and search for the ticker symbol GTHC. GTHC. GTHC is the ticker symbol for GT Bank that is listed on the London Stock Exchange. So if you are looking to buy GTCO, understand that the ticker symbol to look for is not GTCO, but GTHC. That's the ticker symbol for GT Bank being traded on the London Stock Exchange. Now, the reason why the banks in Nigeria are now jumping is because of this listing, the success of the $100 million GT Bank listing on the London Stock Exchange. Yesterday, it was trading at 5 pence. I mean, 0.05 pence, right? Okay, so today, trading is going on right now on the London Stock Exchange, and GTHC, which is our own GT Bank, is already gaining 10%, in fact 10.48%, and as we speak, it's at 0.058 pence per share. That's what it is right now. No, cents, I beg your pardon. Even though it's traded on the London Stock Exchange, I'm looking at it from Trading View here, and I'm seeing it's quoted in USD. So convert 0.058 cents to Naira, at the exchange rate of, say, 1,600 naira to the dollar. And then you will understand why GT suddenly ran yesterday to 84 naira per share. And now today, GT is trading about 90 naira. I even saw it at 91 naira per share. Who would have thought? Remember, I made a postulation and I said there is a race for which Nigerian bank will be the first to start costing 100 naira per share. And that race has been between GT Bank and Stanbic IBTC. So let's see what they are doing currently with GT Bank's listing on the London Stock Exchange. There is definitely a very significant change to the entire trajectory, because as we speak right now, Stanbic IBTC Bank is at 85 naira per share, whereas Stanbic used to be the leader. It touched 80 before GT. It even touched 60 before GT. I remember when Stanbic was 50, GT was struggling around 38, 40. But what do we have now? The table is turning, and it looks like this dual listing that GT Bank has just achieved is the master stroke. While Stanbic today is at 85 naira, GT Bank is currently at 90 naira 50 kobo per share. In fact, 8.2 million shares of GT Bank has been traded already, valued at 748 million naira on the NGX. Come on now, a lot is going on. So this could just be the particular masterstroke that GT uses to finally dominate the entire banking landscape as far as a price listing on the NGX is concerned, because at this point, I do not know if Stanbic can really catch up, because more foreign investors are beginning to be exposed to this GT co, and it continues to gain traction from time to time. So we still watch to see. GT is 10 naira away from becoming the first Nigerian bank to cost 100 naira per share, while Stanbic is 15 naira away. Who will finish this race? Who will breast the tape? We watch and see. So because GT is flying, and usually when GT or Zenith flies, every other banking stock wakes up from their slumber. So the Nigerian banking space and the Nigerian exchange as a whole is going to be experiencing some very serious activity going forward, because this exposure suddenly makes other stocks also available for foreign investors. So if you are not in the stock market, you don't know what you are missing, because if this pressure of funds flying into the Nigerian market continues, your stocks that you have invested in will just keep ballooning, and that's how you make wealth. You see that? I am the wealth creation enthusiast with a passion for helping individuals and corporate organizations build their personal and corporate net worth via investing in both the Nigerian exchange and the foreign stock markets. So that's it. And so, for the first time, GT Bank has made history. The first Nigerian bank ever to be listed in the London Stock Exchange. All right? Get this information very clear. You are hearing it here now. Anybody can now buy GT Bank shares abroad. Even if you are not interested in converting your USD or pound sterling to Naira to invest back home, you can now buy GT Bank shares on the London Stock Exchange. Interesting, isn't that? All right, let's go on to your comments. Remember, the phone lines will be open to you to call in exactly 1 hour into this session, talking about 1 p.m. Nigerian time. If you are not following me, you are losing money. Exactly what Okonkwo has just stated there. You now understand, right? Mikades says, dear coach, thank you for all you do. Please advise me on MTN, Owando, Etana stocks. Which do I sell? Please and please do not sell MTN. Choose between Owando and Etana oil. Maybe, just maybe, because of the prospects of future big news that can drive a stock like Owando up, you may also want to hold on to your Owando and flip your Etana for whatever investments you want to divest into. My prophetic financial coach, you are really a wonderful soul. Thank you very much. Lekon, appreciate you there. Good morning, coach. Please, at what price can I bid for NIDF? Sydney Ebuka. Now, this morning, before coming on live, I saw that NIDF was really flying. People were putting in bids at 122 naira per share. And I was wondering, could the institutional investors have discovered NIDF? Well, I'd like to tell them that most of our members here are not yet fully loaded in NIDF and would want them to hold on a bit. In any case, that was just for a moment. Can you imagine? For the first time, we are seeing 1 million shares of NIDF traded. By the way, no cause for alarm. You can put in a bid at 113 naira 50 kobo. You are most likely going to be sold to. So there looks like there was a panic buy of NIDF stocks earlier, and that drove the price as high as 120. But guess what? Even currently, offers are at 115 naira per share. So the highest bidder is at 113 naira 20 kobo. So you can go ahead to bid at 113.50 or 113.20. All right? Okay. Keep your comments coming in. Instagram doesn't scroll as well as TikTok, so you may want to repeat your questions over and over just in case I miss out on it. Thomas Gospel Tubo Terminal says, I bought Briscoe yesterday. I'm looking to buy more. I hope I'm in order. Well, it depends on if Briscoe is still available. Remember, I mentioned this Briscoe just yesterday. It was at 3 naira. How much? 50 kobo. 3 naira 50 kobo. ROT Briscoe. Let's see how much ROT Briscoe is this morning or this afternoon. Current status, even though it closed at 3 naira 85 kobo yesterday, ROT Briscoe is now selling at 4 naira 23 kobo. Interesting, isn't it? Fantastic. As we have it right now, there are 5.3 million bids for ROT Briscoe and just 174,000 offers. Okay, so the interest is still very strong, and I'm sure they may just clear it. Now, I don't know what price you want to bid for, but currently just 175,000 shares are available as far as ROT Briscoe is concerned, whereas there are 5.3 million bids for that stock. So even if you joined just yesterday, we are really making good progress. But I like to let us all know, and it's important for us to be true to ourselves and be truthful at times like this, when everywhere is looking like vibrating and everything is just going fine. I like to throw in a little bit of caution from time to time, because if you are in a very sincere community, they tell you the realities of life. The stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but at times it surprises us with how quickly it rewards us. So this is some of us really getting surprised with how quickly things can turn around, and a market that looks like it has been trading sideways suddenly picks up and fires up. So congratulations if you are making your kill, but invest wisely and don't be moved by emotions. Be careful about what they call FOMO. FOMO, simply put, fear of missing out. The fear of missing out has caused a lot of people to lose money, and that's why I try to coach you here, mentor you, and tell you to develop the discipline not to run after every flying stock, because it is that FOMO, the fear of missing out, that makes you go and buy a stock so expensive. Even though the stock has run for several days climbing up, the market doesn't move on a straight line. There will always be a pullback for every stock that is flying. But the most important thing is slow and steady wins the race. So be sure of what you are buying, okay? Good day, coach. Which penny stock would you recommend for short-term investment? I'd like us to know that we are in a global platform, and I may not be making recommendations loud and clear, because I am obliged to put a caveat in all the stocks I speak about. And that caveat is not a financial advice. Please do your due diligence, because in the end, everybody will take responsibility for their decisions. Remember, it is a do-it-yourself club. So you are not paying anybody to show you what to do. And that's why it is not a financial advice. Let's begin to get used to this going forward. Not a financial advice. Do your due diligence. Is that okay? All right. If I am to go into the market to check through again, to scan through, to look for penny stocks to buy, I will quickly rush, and guess what? What I wanted to tell you about, things have changed drastically. All of a sudden, a psychological barrier has been broken again by one of our most talked about stock. And what stock is that? Charms is on full bid. Suddenly, it shoots above 3 naira 2 kobo, and it's now at 34 million shares being bidded for, 0 offers. Isn't that interesting? Now, somebody might have been carried away, and the fear of missing out would have come upon somebody who would have gone ahead to sell their charms at 2 naira 50 kobo just a few days ago, only to now come back to see that charms is now 302, heavily bidded for, 0 offers. Do you see the point now? Do you understand now that not every stock will run at the same time? Each stock has its own day, and when that day comes, as long as you are well loaded in it, you bag your profits. I want to congratulate our sister. I remember we wanted to buy a car. She had 7 million naira. She went around looking for a car to buy, but she couldn't find anything reasonable. And she came back here and told us she decided she was going to invest that money. And when she heard us talking about charms, she said, I pack charms. I pack charms. Right? Now, she's going to be heavily rewarded depending on how much she invested in charms. And most of us are heavily invested in charms, including yours truly. Please do your due diligence. The other stock that we have been collecting that is a penny stock is QTix. Up till 2 days ago, QTix was selling for about 3 naira 80 kobo per share. But guess what? Yesterday, it bounced back up and then above 4 naira, trading at 4 naira 26 kobo. And now I go ahead to see QTix at 435. For QTix, there are offers in the market as we speak. So just ensure that you are investing for the long term. There could be pullbacks here and there from time to time, but please understand that you are in a marathon, not a sprint. Have this at the back of your mind and understand this reality that you are in a marathon, not in a sprint. When I mentioned Academy Press, it was at 5 naira 61 kobo or something like that. Well, just a few days after, I think I mentioned Academy Press around Thursday, Friday last week. Today is Thursday. 1 week after, we are seeing Academy Press at how much right now? Academy is at 8 naira 95 kobo. Okay, so a lot is going on in the market. How about AICO Insurance? AICO Insurance currently at 1 naira 99 kobo. That stock slept at 1 naira 60 kobo. Now, you may not understand until you trade penny stocks in volumes. Do you know what? At that point, every kobo counts. The value of kobo, as valueless as we think it is, you will understand it when you invest in stocks. GTCO is pulling Zenith Bank along. They will definitely get to 100 naira before Stanbic. I strongly doubt Victor Onyemulu if Zenith will hit 100 naira per share before Stanbic. But it's looking like GT has officially overtaken Stanbic. However, all Zenith needs to do now is to match GT's full total dividend payout, unlike they did the last time, and I know they have the capacity to do it. I kept saying that there is a huge upside in Zenith because they can match whatever GT is doing, and I think maybe they misfired by announcing their full year results ahead of GT, thinking they would just be as conservative as they've always been together. In fact, it's been Zenith that has been paying the more dividend than GT, but GT continued to be more expensive, even if slightly, until the gap began to widen. And then the worst happened this year when the full year result was announced. While Zenith was waiting to announce the regular final 4 naira per share dividend to make the full year dividend 5 naira per share because they've paid interim dividend of 1 naira each, what happened? After Zenith announced 4 naira final dividend, GT destroyed the charts by announcing 7 naira 90 something kobo per share, making their total dividend over 8 naira per share. I think that's where the gap eventually widened completely. But guess what? I know Zenith will not be lying down and just watching by, and that's why I kept advising, buy Zenith. That Zenith you are seeing at 43, that Zenith you are seeing at 47, that Zenith will shoot above 50. We are nowhere near the second end of the second half. And here we are, right at the beginning of the second half of the year. Zenith is now at over 60 naira per share. That's what happens when you can anticipate beyond what is written on paper. You get the point now. There are so many eventualities that will happen in the market, and you will never be able to decipher all of it if you continue to stick only to what is written on paper. Coach, please talk about Uni Insure. I bought it in January and it was dropping, but now going up. Kels, hold on with your Uni Insurance. This is not the time to sell any of those stocks. You could have actually made money, and that's why that time I kept cautioning us. You see insurance companies, be careful with them and make sure you don't lose out or slip when they will dump. It was a temporary jump by most of these stocks, and they are now recovering again. The insurance sector itself will eventually recapitalize. That's me now exercising my benefit of hindsight to tell you they are seriously undercapitalized, and very soon the regulators of the insurance sector will give them the matching orders. Perhaps they are trying to apply some level of wisdom, especially now that the banks are still recapitalizing. They have up till April 2026 next year to complete their recapitalization exercise as stipulated and directed by the Central Bank of Nigeria. So that is to say, maybe the insurance sector is just waiting, or the regulators are just waiting for the banks to conclude theirs before the insurance industry starts their recapitalization. A lot will happen in that sector. There will be mergers and acquisitions, and some will drop off because not every insurance company will be able to match whatever recapitalization mark that they are given. All right? What can you say about 30% tax government will be charging on Nigerian stocks now? Toyin Ori, you've got to calm down and understand the tax reform bill very well. It's just a problem with time that I have. Otherwise, I was to make a video, especially as regards the investing public, especially the Nigerian investing public on the NGX. Can I tell you, there has been a taxation system all along, but it hasn't been very pronounced. First off, you've been paying taxes on your dividends. In case you don't know, that's because dividend is taxed 10%. So, and it is deducted from source. You don't even get to touch it. So what you see as dividend alert in your account is less the 10% that they have taken off. So you are looking at, that's why we've had cases where people call into this live session and they will say, oh, I calculated my dividend is supposed to be so and so, but I'm seeing something a bit less. And we try to explain to them, listen, there is 10% withholding tax on all dividends paid. So what you are receiving is not the gross dividend that you are punching on your calculators. It's actually the net dividend. I think we need to understand this because this is also a knowledge session. This live stream is also a knowledge session, and there comes a time when we begin to speak knowledge regarding things like this. So please understand that you need some level of sophistication so that you know exactly what's going on and what you are involved in. 10% is deducted from every dividend being paid. Watch it from now. For instance, next month, first week of next month or thereabouts, Presco will be paying a dividend of 42 naira per share. So if you have 10,000 Presco, for instance, times 42 naira per share, that will amount to 420,000 naira. That is the gross dividend. They will now take out 10% of that. 10% of 420,000 is 42,000 naira. So 42,000 naira will be taken away from your 420,000. So you'll be left with a balance of something around the region of 370 something thousand naira as your net dividend. Please take note of this and do not panic when you see your dividend. A lot of people do not even calculate their dividends. They just see the alert and they celebrate. They don't know if they have been underpaid or not. But guess what? You are in this family, this community where you get to understand these things in details. Then coming on to other ways that they tax capital market investors like you and me. Now, there's something called capital gains tax. That is, for every gain you make, for instance, you bought charms at 2 naira, it's now 3 naira, you have recorded 50% gain already. Now, that gain is supposed to be taxed. I haven't checked through completely to know whether it has changed, but what has been existing all along is capital gains tax on the NGX is only applicable when you make gains of 100 million naira at once within a year's trading. That's when you are up to be taxed from your capital gains. And most of you are not doing 100 million naira gains yet. So that's why you may think that it's been tax-free and now they want to tax us. No, there has been a tax regime. What has been done most recently is just a reform. That's why they call it the tax reform bill. So I need to go back and check in details to be sure what and what is actually taxed. All right? Okay. So that's about that. You'll be so shocked. Okay, Dr. Newton, perhaps you were talking about something else. Please update on Veritas Cap, Japol Gold, and SCOA. Okay, because of our time, I am not able to go ahead to continue to talk about Veritas because I've spoken about it earlier. So you may want to check through the what you call the YouTube channel after today's video has been uploaded to revisit what I said about Veritas Cap. For Japol Gold, there's a lot going on with their plan to recapitalize, increase the share capital of the company from 40 billion to 100, from 40 billion to 100, 40 million to 100 million. Hold on, let me check what's with Japol Gold currently. And so that announcement means that they might be gone in for fresh capital. And so it created an excitement also on that stock, and it's been jumping. Right now, Japol Gold is at 3 naira 33 kobo, still on full bid, no offers as we speak. 82 million shares traded. 82 million shares bidded for, 0 offers. Okay? All right. Looks like YouTube is having the same challenge of not having a voice, but never mind. The full video will be downloaded based on YouTube format, so you can be able to still catch up with whatever you have missed or lost. Just keep on typing your questions on YouTube, and it will be responded to at the end of the live session. The IT team backing me up behind the scene will work things out and ensure that all of what has been discussed here is recorded fully and uploaded in full. All right? Okay, so keep your comments coming in even from YouTube. Okay, I hear YouTube is fine. Thank you very much. Please, can you talk about Afriland properties? I can't seem to find it in the NGX. Okay, that's coming from Okuye Godwin. Godwin, Afriland is not listed on the NGX. It is listed on the NASD. That's another exchange where stocks are traded from. That's where a stock like Aradel was delisted from and listed on the NGX last year. Okay, so for instance, just to throw more light, the NASD is like a smaller river compared to the NGX because you have companies with lower market capitalization, for instance, but that's not just it. You also have companies with very large market capitalization. You have companies with who are just starting to be listed as a public company but do not want to come into the big ocean where you have the NGX. You have fewer shares being traded and the liquidity is far smaller, if you like. Not much liquidity, so not much volumes are traded on a daily basis. It's more like if we start up a company, for instance, together, net worth investors holding company, right? And all we do is invest in major companies across the world, go there, buy NVIDIA, buy Tesla, and all these things. And we now decide we want to get listed. What happens is we may try by testing the waters on NASD. And then we understand the rudiments of being a listed company and all that, reporting to the public, all of those things. And then we decide that we want to come onto the big ocean, which is the NGX. So the NASD is a smaller pool, if you like, compared to the NGX. The NGX is a wider pool with bigger and much more liquidity, and every time, of course, even volatility as well. Okay, so you have more investors, more companies, and bigger market capitalization. Of course, you also have a whole lot of shares outstanding. I taught you about shares outstanding just yesterday and free float. Was it yesterday or the day before? So if you understand these things, you will now know. But there are also situations where companies decide that they want to be delisted from the NGX and get listed on NASD. It has happened with the company you all know as Mobil, Mobil PLC, the oil prospecting company that also has gas stations around Nigeria. We know them as Mobil, if you like, but the original name is Mobil, and they delisted from the NGX and went on to get listed on the NASD. And on the NASD now, they are not known as Mobil anymore. They are known as Double One PLC. Double One PLC is what they are called. That is 11. If you don't know, you will see the name and say 11 PLC. No, it's not 11. Even though it's written as 11 PLC, it's actually Double One PLC. So Mobil has delisted from the NGX and gone on to get listed on the NASD. And we hear also MRS, right? The petroleum marketing company you all know that has great business relationship with the Dangote refinery and continues to sell Dangote refined products. MRS is going to also be delisted from the NGX and get listed on the NASD. So that's where a stock like Afriland Properties is, and that's why you can't find it on the NGX. I hope I have spent a lot of time responding to this question, but the important thing is you all get to learn these things and understand the entire stock market much better than ever. Thank you very much. I go on to most of your comments. Remember, at exactly 1 p.m. Nigerian time, the phone lines will be open. Do well to call in early enough. Yesterday, you waited for almost 30 minutes after 1 p.m. before you called, and so we had a lot of calls that could not be taken because of time. So be vigilant if you intend to make calls. Do well to get ready to call at exactly 1 p.m. OVA says, how long? Oh, the comments have skipped. Seriously, okay. How long does dividend take to reflect in bank account after initiation? Well, it depends on what bank you use and sometimes the speed of execution. Some registrars, because registrars are the ones responsible for maintaining the records of shareholders and the distribution of dividends, right? So it depends on the speed of execution of the registrars involved, because some are much more pragmatic than the others. And then it also depends on what bank you use. How do I mean? Because some registrars are already affiliated with some banks. And so if you use the same banks, bank-to-bank transfers always happen quicker and faster in-house than others. So interbank, right? So you want to think of from when they announce payment dates. Thank God for a community like this where we can come back and relate to say, oh, I've got my Presco dividend, and then everybody who has Presco will begin to check and to follow up. So from the first day, we start getting information here that most of our members have received whatever dividend is being declared, and then it creates a consciousness for those who have the stock but haven't received to keep watching. So from the first day, people start receiving their dividends, but it can last for up to 2 weeks. So if you are expecting dividend from the payment date announced, you don't see it after 2 weeks, then you can start raising an alarm and contacting your broker and the registrars to report that you have not received your dividend. Coach, thank you for all you do. Can I still invest in First Bank and ROT Briscoe? For First Bank, I can assure you that yes, you can invest in First Bank. I know its own time will come. And beyond what is on paper, we can tell when an institution is about to wake up. It used to be the dying elephant. By the way, it used to be the biggest and strongest. And it has been in slumber for God knows how long. I used to own sufficient quantity of First Bank. I sold it off without being sentimental. And then I'm seeing now that things are changing. And of course, we will still be here. Let's still remember, some of you have followed me now for 2 solid years. Some of you, 3 solid years. And it just feels like yesterday. Now, you need to be investing that way. Stop being in a hurry. And if you can see far, then you can take some calculated risks. When others are afraid, you do your plus and minus and make your decision. That's how you make money. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? Okay. As for RT Briscoe, because it is becoming scarce. Otherwise, for me, I've taken a chance on RT Briscoe for 2 reasons. Number 1, the prospects of CNG conversion, and most of the trucks now, especially all of the trucks that Dangote refinery eventually acquired to distribute petroleum products across the country. I think about 1,000 trucks. They are all CNG vehicles because it's cheaper. So everybody is now looking towards CNG, and RT Briscoe is a major player, and I'm sure they will prepare themselves to take full advantage of what that market offers. Coach, talk about Honeywell Floor. Well, for Honeywell Floor, it has actually rewarded people a lot, and I have no worry about it. We are now just waiting for what the parent company decides to do. In any case, it continues to climb. Imagine a stock we bought in November at 4.95 Kobo and 5 Naira and so on and so forth. Depending on where you join from, so many people bought Honeywell Floor that low, and today it's at 27 Naira per share. In those days, you needed to wait very long before your stock will move from 5 Naira to 27. And that's because there was nothing like digitalization. You just sit down, and it's good for us to recall history because it will interest you to note that bid and offer was done so manually and crudely those days. The stock market used to be a very noisy place. Truly, you all know that markets can be noisy. That's what the stock market is, because stockbrokers will be on the trading floor and be shouting their bids and offers. For instance, Atlas Portfolios is bidding. Your broker who is on the floor will be shouting over the top of his voice regarding a stock that he's bidding for. That's how it used to happen. And then they were using blackboard and chalk. Then when the bids goes up, they will erase the last price and write the new price. So we are coming from a very long place. So many people who are investing today and maybe creating content about investment today never knew when all this happened. But this is what we have seen, and we are in the best of times, I can tell you, because information flies left, right, and center. These days, once financial report is published, it's up there on the NGX website. Anywhere you are with the internet, you connect and you begin to check to make up your mind on what to do. We are still not very fast to react to publications and corporate actions as it is in the US. You know, their information system management and data transmission is so out of this world, right? But we are getting there. So for you who are already tech savvy, you can lay your hands on certain information, especially in a community like this where we see results. Maobi did a fantastic job I will never forget. Throughout the earnings season, he was packing results from NGX and everywhere and dumping in our group. So we were a collection or a depository of annual reports of companies the moment they land on the NGX. That's how efficient Net Worth Investors Club have become. So as the information is dropping, we are picking and taking decisions right away. We made a lot of decisions based on the financial reports that were released by companies on the NGX. And before the market reacts to most of those news, we were already in it, right? Ladies and gentlemen, Ella Lakes continues to defy logic and remains unrelenting. Now 11 naira 49 kobo. This is another Owando in the making from what we are seeing so far. Nobody under heaven saw Ella Lakes coming the way it is going right now. In any case, we keep going. Coach, please, is Owando and Dangote Sugar still a good buy at the moment? Owando will have its own day. And when it comes, it will also blow. I know this very sure. Just one little news. Where are those who bought Guinness? Well, from 88 naira yesterday, Guinness is waking up into the bull run already. Now 96 naira per share, 814,000 bids versus 33,000 offers. That's a huge marginal difference there. Okay? And we have, you asked about Owando. I'm trying to check what's happening with Owando right now. Owando will eventually join the party, but you know how that stock behaves. Sometimes it's a one-man riot squad. It runs on its own. Currently at 54 naira per share. Everybody who owns Owando needs some level of patience, and it can be frustrating because it rarely moves with others. It's not impossible, but it certainly happens a lot. UBA 39 naira plus. It's looking at touching 40 naira now, and anything can happen. Ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes on the ball. Never be distracted. This year, we are making money. All right? So that's about Owando. Dangote Sugar is gradually and increasingly becoming more expensive, coming from where we are coming from. 51 naira 80 kobo per share. So it's dipped a little after touching 52 yesterday. This was a stock that lingered at 36 for so long, and then at some point in the first week of April, Dangote Sugar dropped to 33. And I was here on this live session still telling people, please buy this stock. This stock is something else. And I will repeat again, when you hear Dangote Sugar, even though the ticker symbol says Dang Sugar, it's not sugar, it's a refinery, fully loaded and operational with all sorts of what you call towers, if you like, fractionating towers, just like you have fractionating towers in the crude oil refineries. That's what Dangote Sugar Refinery is. So where you are buying, just remember you are not buying cubes of sugar, so that you understand the gravity of the kind of business you are getting involved with. In any case, there are now 2 Dangote Sugar refineries, one in Nigeria that has always been, and the latest one that was opened recently in Ghana. So you want to wait and see after it crossed 51. Let's see if it may push down anything close to 48, 49 and buy. Otherwise, in a bull market like this, there is no time to waste. My only regret is I wish you were here when I was talking about it just a month ago or two at 36 naira. It's not even up to 2 months. It was still selling at 36 as recently as a month ago. Good day, coach. Please, who are the registrars of Dangote Cement? Okay, I can do a quick search for that. You know, for me, I hardly want to keep certain information in my head because there are so many other things I'm creating space for. In those days, I used to know people by their plate numbers, but I consciously decided that, listen, I will not exhaust my, you know, we all have random access memory. We all have random access memory. I will not exhaust my random access memory on things like that. So there are things I don't bother my head because there is a quick way to just Google things and get it out. Dangote Cement registrars, that's what you can do, right? So anytime you need such information, just go onto Google and search it out and you will find out. For instance, Coronation Registrars Limited are the registrars for Dangote Cement. And Coronation is actually a good registrar, if you like. They keep you informed, they send you emails and so on and update you when there is need for the AGMs that shareholders needs to attend. All right, please, coach, does Adova PLC still in the stock? No, Adova has been delisted. I think shareholders have been paid off as far as I know. GTHC is not seen on Trading 212, coach. Why is that, for God's sake? It's on the London Stock Exchange. Why is Trading 212 delaying it? Maybe, just maybe, they will get listed soon. You know, when new stocks are listed, even in the US, you hardly find it on the fintechs back home in Nigeria until it takes a while before you find it. That's how a lot of people missed a stock like Seco. How many of you remember Seco stock? Oh, that stock was listed. I mentioned it here and said, oh, the IPO for Seco is coming out and it will be traded at $31 per share. It's not up to 3 months. Seco, ticker symbol CROCL. Go and check the chart history of Seco. You will find that it's just about a month old. Is it about a month old? No, more than a month old, actually. But guess what? Seco got listed at $31 maybe 2 months ago. Currently, Seco is at $200 per share. So most people got frustrated because they couldn't see it on the fintech apps used over in Nigeria. And that's because of their inability to get it listed on their board for trading as quickly as we would have wanted. All right, despite the bull run, the high price stocks aren't moving. This tells me something. Coach, say something. You have to calm down. Now I'm seeing a little bit of worry. Relax yourself. Their time will come. This is just heralding a proper bull run, if you like. And it will soon happen for the big guns. And that's why I preach diversification, okay? Always diversify your portfolio, find a balance, but do not overload with penny stocks because there are dangers in doing that as well. Apart from the fact that they don't pay you very good dividends compared to the big guns, when there is a market correction, they get hit hard, faster and more. They get hit harder, in fact, than any others because a 1 naira 50 kobo stock can lose 50 kobo in a day. I mean, in a space of 1 week, that's 50% or no, not 50%, but close to about 35, nearly 40% of the value is wiped out within a week. But that can't happen with a seplat. Get the point now? Because to move the price down, you need a lot of money. That 100,000 naira, 100,000 stocks tranche transaction, one block transaction must happen for a stock price to drop or increase. Zenith is a good, is a go coach, right? I'm getting confused now, Thomas. It gets harder for me to start telling you, yes, Zenith is good at 61 when I kept talking about Zenith here at 45. Forget when it dropped to 43, I still said pick Zenith at 43. But then it got to 45, stayed there for long, then to 47, stayed there for long. Now it's 61. It's hard for me to say, but guess what? It can still rise. It may not. I don't know. Coach, please talk about Jaiz Bank. Now, every time Jaiz continues to trade close to 3 naira per share, I see opportunity locking and waiting until all the other bank goes out of reach. Maybe that's when attention will be drawn to Jaiz. As if you ask me, Jaiz very good at 315 downwards. Currently 318, still not getting the attention that will drive it further. So maybe you want to use that as a last resort, just in case you can't find your way into the orders. Yeah? All right. Keep your questions coming in. Let's keep going. Ladies and gentlemen, it can only get better. You see, that's why when you have one successful person in your family, as long as the person is good, every other person will eventually smell that success. That's what I see here happening to the Nigerian banks as we speak. Currently, based on what Zenith has done, the other banks are now rising, and it's looking really good for the Nigerian banking space. So get set for greater capitalization. I'm talking about the NGX All Share Index. MTN, 365 naira, gaining 9 naira 80 kobo already, meaning the rise continues after it drinks a lot of water at 350. I explained all of this to you. There could be only two things. It's either it is looking for a strong support again at 350, or it may now drop below. But it didn't take long before MTN began the second missionary journey upwards. Meanwhile, if you look at the books, MTN is not what the price it is selling for today. But when deep pockets decide that this one is going somewhere, they sometimes see far beyond what you see on paper. That's what's happening here. Can I inform you that one of the majority shareholders of MTN, the South African majority shareholders, they want to divest some of their MTN, and who knows, someone is taking strong position there to maybe capitalize on whatever it is they are plotting. All right, is it late to start buying now with the bull run? How do you mean? To buy what? Can you explain what is that you are referring to? I'm talking about Namu Dan Baba. Okay. Access Bank shares is too cheap compared to other banks. Is it worth it to buy? Which would you recommend between the First Bank and Access? How about forbearance things and its impact? Well, most of these banks have come out and made their statement that forbearance issues are taken care of as far as June 30th, 2025 is concerned. So most of them really do not have any worries about forbearance, right? But Access has suffered because of how it has treated its shareholders, abandoning them with very meager dividend compared to what its peers pays, and of course, going rather to acquire a lot of other banks, both internationally and of course locally. The last one we saw was Diamond Bank, right? But the MD in the last annual general meeting held has told shareholders that they will improve on dividend payment this time. So let's hope and see that that happens. So the market is quite unsure yet how to manage that information, whether to sit in deep or to watch and see what they do, especially when September comes, when they will be announcing interim dividends. How can a beginner start trading in the capital market? Motunrayo, Remy, very simple. And that's why we are here. If you are here for the first time, you don't understand anything, you are in the right place. Don't expect me to say you are in the wrong place because you don't understand. Can I tell you this? I am talking to you here today now. There was a time when I didn't understand nothing. So you are most welcome to Net Worth Investors Club, a community of investors, and we are on Discord app, right? On Discord, we are over 2,500 members already. It's all free. All you need to do, send me a DM on my Instagram page, follow me on Instagram, send me a DM that you want the link to open your brokerage account. I will send you the link, and then the link to join Net Worth Investors Club, I will also send to you so you can join for free. Then go onto my YouTube channel and watch the beginner guide videos to help you get started. That's why I created all of these platforms to help any interested party who wants to grow wealth from the little they earn to come in, learn, and earn. But you must go for knowledge, because that is what will save you even if they block all social media communication means. I have had an experience where my entire TikTok account was banned. So if you are connected to me on TikTok right now, this is my second account, and I personally do not run a backup account because there are too many fakes. A lot of people have gone to do various fake accounts in my name with my pictures. So please understand, nobody in Net Worth Investors Club is going to ask you for a dime. You are not parting with any money. That's why from the beginning, I was inspired to make it a do-it-yourself club. You get coached from a distance. You know how to follow instructions. The internet is yours. The phone is yours. The stockbroker will communicate with you directly, not me anymore. I only show you where to go, and you can decide which stockbroker you want to use. Very simple. You must not use Atlas Portfolios if you are comfortable with another broker. There are so many stockbrokers, but as far as we are concerned, by all means, open a stock brokerage account. That's how it starts. And when you buy stocks, you are actually not throwing away money wondering whether you will make money or not. No. You are investing in a tangible business that exists. Can I explain to you? Most of you listening to me now, you have bank accounts. Do you know, for instance, that those banks you invested in, you are a shareholder? Every time there is annual general meeting, you are an invited guest. You can go to Echo Hotel if that is the venue of the annual general meeting. Go through the registrar's books. They will see your name, confirm you a shareholder, and admit you into the meeting. So you can be a part of the decision making by voting in the AGM and be voted for. One of the privileges of being a shareholder. Now, can I go deeper? Those people who treat you with levity in the bank, who see you as a nobody because you don't come with cash, or you don't show yourself, as we say in quote, they are actually working for you. That's what happens. For instance, you have shares in Zenith Bank. I don't care how little it is. Why? Because all the effort they put in, early morning they are up to the bank, close at night, get back home. Do you know what they are doing? They are toiling and working for you. Because at the end of all what they will do, their efforts is aggregated in a financial report. Profit and loss is worked out. Profit after tax is arrived at. It is from that profit after tax that dividends are paid out. So it means they are working for you, because when they finish working, they will pay you dividend as a shareholder. So they are sweating for you. Even if they abuse you, disrespect you, just have this assurance that after everything, you are laboring for me, and I'm going to take my dividends. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, understand in essence, that when you buy stocks, you are buying a part of the company. This is where stocks stands out as regards if you want to compare with digital assets, for instance, right? Digital assets like cryptocurrencies are intangible. You don't see what you are investing in. But stocks, you are buying a portion of a company to yourself for the rest of your life. You will keep collecting dividend from that stock. Until you sell the stock, you don't stop earning dividends. That's what happens when you buy stocks. This basic knowledge is important. Now, it means the company exists, people are employed. They are either manufacturing or rendering services. They must be creating value. It is the value they keep creating that brings in the income that increases the value of your stock over time. I'll give you one instance. The Initiates PLC, TIP, started waste management business, was completely unknown. Then what do you have? Suddenly, profits started surging. The market began to see that the price at 1.95 Naira is too small for a company that earns about 1 Naira earnings per share. And so, those of us who bought at 1.95 Naira in November were seated here, coming every day, analyzing stocks, only to realize that the stock has risen from 1.95 to currently 9 Naira plus. That's what happens when you invest in a tangible business that people are working and creating value from. In the end, all the value creation will accrue to you in the form of capital gains and dividends. I've explained dividend. Capital gain is what you get on top of whatever you bought a stock. Like I said, everybody who bought TIP, even if you bought at 2 Naira or 3 Naira or 4 Naira, you bought at 4 Naira, it's now 9 Naira. The 5 Naira on top of the 4 Naira is your capital gain. These are the two major ways you make money from the stock market. All you need to do is settle down, understand that wealth is not built overnight, especially the wealth that is built to last. I hope this explains everything. My Instagram handle, my TikTok handle, my YouTube channel is all at Wealth Coach Omiete. That's it. Abosede, thank you very much for typing it there for everyone to see. So you can follow me on all those platforms. If you like, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Threads. I share information on various capital market issues, and it's important for you to really follow up on all those platforms. Especially the YouTube channel is going to have some major upgrade. So some of the very important videos that I need to be doing for everybody who follows me, you will need to go on YouTube to join so that you subscribe for free and continue to step up your knowledge base. Ladies and gentlemen, it's past 1 p.m. It's now time for us to take calls. Are you ready for the calls? There are already 3 callers standing by, and we have, first off, Yomi. So let's hear from Yomi. Hello, sir. Very good afternoon to you from here. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from. I can hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear, Dr. Yomi.
However, I don't see the reflection of that in the stock price of Jais
Well, you just re-echoed what I said about how we do not process information well enough, right? We don't act on information early enough. And as a matter of fact, the result is actually coming in at a time when a lot of retail investors are heavily distracted with other stocks that are jumping. That's basically it. I have always recommended Jaiz Bank from when it was, I think, at 198, then it went to 245, stayed for a long time. Then I said, Jaiz is about to rise above 3. And what happened? 1-2 days after, it left 245 forever. Now, those of us who have seen the results can confirm that this is a good bank trying to grow from whatever level it is and can only do better. For me, I'm not surprised because I already saw it coming. And I remember mentioning here that their current MD, I think he joined them last year or 2 years ago, was an executive in GTCO. So even the structure is sound and they have a very sound head. You know, GTCO has actually released a lot of bankers in the banking industry. I can tell you that it's been a solid banking institution. Aigboje Aikimokwede and the late Herbert Wigwe were both directors in GT Bank before they left to acquire First Bank, which was AfriBank before they converted it to Access Bank. You have a lot of GTCO former executives who are working in so many other banks I don't have the time to mention. But the truth is, Jaiz will create wealth. How many people are able to see and patient enough to wait? That's just the question. For instance, while you were talking, I brought up the report. Profit after tax hit 23.48 billion, a 108% increase compared to the 11.24 billion recorded in 2023. Gross earnings grew to 82 billion, 75% increase from 47 billion recorded in 2023 full year. Total assets exceeded 1 trillion mark, reaching 1.08 trillion, 86% increase from 580 billion in 2023. But we do not react quickly to information, as you have rightly also pointed out. We also are a bit distracted with every other thing. So this market will usually reward anyone who knows their way around the market and stays patient. That's all we need. So nothing is wrong with Jaiz. We'll be talking here now. We will soon see Jaiz jumping to 350. Thank you. Thank you very much, Yami. Really appreciate that contribution there. So we have people who have eagle eyes and are keeping watch. That's what we're all about. We do not just invest like people who are trying to test the waters, scattergun. No, we are not. We don't use scattergun approach. We are very deliberate about where we put our money, and we are sensitive to very good information for money making on the markets. All right. Next up is Chuchuli. Hello, sir. Very good afternoon. You do not sound pumped up. What's the matter? All right, go ahead and tell us your name and where you're streaming from. Can you increase your volume a bit better?
My name is Chooks. I'm streaming from Yenagua by SST.
Chooks from Yenagua. We are glad to see you. We hardly receive calls from Yenagua, so it's really interesting to have you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, thank you. Just to follow up, I've been on this community for a week plus.
Okay.
And, I'm already making profits. It's just very funny.
Very funny, isn't it? A week plus.
Just a week plus, and I'm really, really impressed. I wonder where I've been, but it's never late. It's never late. So
Okay, long term. Good thing you're just coming in now, so you can't make that decision very quickly. But as time goes on, you will begin to make up your mind on what stocks you have affinity for, and so on and so forth. In any case, I am thinking of a stock like First Holdco, TIP. Not a financial advice, by the way, because we are now in a global stage and we are streaming on YouTube. Everybody needs to understand that this is not a financial advice. All the views expressed in this live stream are my opinion. Please do your due diligence. Makes sense, right? Okay, so we go ahead to check. Let me see what's happening with First Holdco. First Holdco continues to be waiting for us there. 28.70, not bad. And then, of course, I mentioned TIP just now. TIP is at, wow, 995. Looks like TIP is gathering momentum again. Even though the bids are less than the offers, TIP seems to be stubbornly up there, 995. Okay, so maybe you bid for TIP around 9 naira 85 kobo. 9 naira 85 kobo. Possibly you could buy and hold. Then, of course, that's a top quality company, but it's a value stock yet. Eventually, it will grow and become a growth stock. So just these two is fine. First Holdco and TIP, so you don't overspread the capital. Right? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Atlas Portfolios in the house. Come on now, let's welcome Atlas Portfolios. They have been doing amazing. Suddenly, we are not hearing any complaints about, oh, I opened my account, Atlas, what is happening? Right? Looks like they are matching our energy with results. Hello, Atlas. Good afternoon. It's been a while. Looks like their microphone is muted, so I'll just let them be for now. When they are ready, they can talk to us. Let's go ahead to hear from Inemo Bosco. Okay, Vivian, your money says, I'm still waiting for Atlas. So, all right, Atlas, you have a job to do. Please respond to Vivian on the comment section. Vivian, you may want to drop your full names so Atlas can deal with it right away. Anyone who has concerns about their Atlas Portfolios account, whatever it is, this is the time to also come up and let it known. Inemo Bosco, hello, good afternoon. Yes, sir. Please go ahead. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Okay, my name is Nemo Bosco. I'm calling from Yenagua.
Wow, 2 Yenagua callers right away. First 2 callers for the day. Fantastic representation there. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, I just want to appreciate you so much for all you do. You know, you don't know how you have impacted lives. You know, especially me. You know, early this year I thought of an investment line and I was led by the Spirit of God to go into stocks.
Okay.
You know, and for some reasons, I came across your live and it's been glorious all the way.
Wow.
You know.
When did you join?
So I got an information about the Champions Brewery.
Mm-hmm.
They are making plans to give out 5 billion shares to investors. I don't know how will it be nice to take position in Champions.
Well, that stock has risen very high from the penny stock stage it used to be. And it becomes even a very dicey situation. And that's why I already said it here several times that most of the breweries' stocks will eventually need fresh capital to meet up with their debt obligation and the expansion their businesses needs. They suffered a lot last year due to the foreign exchange losses that they recorded. But so far, so good. they are doing well, especially considering the fact that due to inflationary trend in 2024, they also took advantage to increase the prices of their beer. I don't drink beer, so I will not know exactly the effect. But those who are listening to me now that drink beer, they understand that the cost of a bottle of beer, no matter what brand, actually significantly increased. So that is now showing up in their bottom line, and they can only but go further to cement their resurrection from the trauma they all went through last year by raising capital. All right? So the question now is, how long do you want to wait? Are you willing to be patient? Because most of these prices may rise and help with the capital raise, but after then, dilution happens, and then you want to wonder which of these companies can really match the per share metrics you are looking for post capital raise or post dilution. That's where the problem eventually is. In any case, if you are really interested in investing in the brewery sector, I will advise you go and check for the top 3 brewers. The point is they are getting more expensive, especially if the top 2, talking about Guinness and Nigerian breweries. They continue to expect. Guinness has not really moved. It's Nigerian breweries that has been moving. So it looks like sufficient upside may be left in Guinness, but it's far more expensive than Champion breweries. You know, you have Champion, you have international breweries, and so on. So you want to make up your mind. But whatever you do, have a long-term mindset. That's all I have to say. And then hopefully you get rewarded. Okay?
Okay, then just like what you said, long-term mindset. There was a foreign stock I bought in February.
Okay?
AES Corporation, a power company, and that stock just stood still up until yesterday. It rose up to close to 20%. You know, so I think if Champions has a similar
Run.
growth and a balanced book, I think I can wait for the long term.
Okay, now that you are planning to buy Champion, I will implore you to look for the annual reports and settle down and digest everything. That way you can get some level of conviction whether to carry on with your plan to buy. And if you get convinced, then you are going to be investing with the fullest assurance. I think that's the best approach.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, I will not leave your comments hanging by. Straight Talk with Ebele says, Coach, Academy Press, no griot. Absolutely. Academy just came out smoking after we discovered it. You know, sometimes we really are, I don't know what to call us, but it seems to really be working that we identify a stock, it starts running. But please, let's understand the stock market, I repeat, and I will keep saying it repeatedly because I don't know who has joined after I said the last time, right? The stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme, though it can reward us quicker than we expect. I didn't hear this from anybody. This is my own quote, so you may want to put it in quote. Wealth Coach Omiete, the stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but sometimes it rewards us quicker than we expect. So do not come into stocks with a mentality of somebody who is eager to make money. If you are not disciplined enough, you will lose money in this market because you will be selling stocks when you should be holding. And you will be buying stocks when you shouldn't touch. So please understand it's a marathon and not a sprint. On to some of your comments as we keep making progress today on YouTube. I love your program. Please keep it up. Ola Shege, Babatunde, thank you very much for that feedback. Really, really appreciate. You are the best. Okay, we keep going. Charms is 307 now, coach. Really? Play for real. I thought the highest price for the day will be 302. Or am I missing something? Charms is 302. It can be 307 because that's the maximum 10% gain it can gather for the day. So everybody, please understand that 10% is the maximum a Nigerian stock can gain in one day. All right, GT has been standing by. Let's hear from GT. Meanwhile, what is your take on Cornhall? That's coming from Glint. Cornhall actually is a very good insurance stock, but it's taking its time. Currently 308. I've said a lot about Cornhall when it was under 3 naira. We watch to see how well it progresses. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from, and please reduce the noise on your background. I'm so sorry, the noise on your background will not let us hear. You need to stop the noise on your background. Sorry, you may want to organize yourself so that we stop struggling with the noise on your background. Hello, we're looking at the next caller, Okonkwo. Hello. Very good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from. All right, Mrs. Okonkwo from Lagos. We are glad to have you. All right, before you start, ladies and gentlemen, Aiko, 2 naira per share. Interesting times, isn't it? Go ahead, Ma.
Coach, you mentioned something about a different body apart from Nigerian Stock Exchange. And you said this particular, you mentioned 2 companies, Afriland and Mrs. Oil, and they are trading there. How come Mrs. Oil is there and also is in Nigerian Stock Exchange? And then what's part they're not even doing well. So I'm looking at discarding them and then
Okay. Okay, NASD. Now, MRS is not yet listed on NASD. What I said is they are about to be delisted from the NGX to NASD. That's what I said, right? Okay, so I'd like you to be a bit patient. MRS is not a stock to throw away yet. Let me inform you. The owner of MRS is related to Alhaji Aliko Dangote. You would realize that there was a time when a particular content creator compared fuel from NNPC refinery versus fuel from MRS. That video went viral and caused a lot of problems. But guess what? That's because MRS has direct partnership with Dangote Refinery to distribute their products. And that's a lifetime business. Maybe when they get delisted from the NGX and go to the NASD, things can blossom quietly. And now that you even have interest in opening an NASD account, fantastic. So you will migrate with them over there as well. Remember the lesson from Ella Lakes.
Yes.
So please, whatever else you want to do with the MRS money you are planning to discard, just hold on, get fresh funds to do that. If you don't have, these are times when we just sit down and watch the portfolio and your stocks are growing like grass. Your money is growing like grass right now. So leave MRS. when every other stock stops jumping, that's when it will be its turn. So at all times, you are benefiting. That's the idea. That's the sense in diversification. You don't want to miss out from an MRS whose time to dominate has finally come.
Okay. So as I asked earlier, how to trade it down on that platform?
Well, if you use Atlas portfolios, very simple. You will, because everyone who wants to trade on NASD must open an account through their brokers. They will set them up. Then you will now be able to use the app downloaded on your phone to register and then go ahead with your transactions.
Okay. So it's NASD, right?
Yes, ma. NASD.
All right, noted. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much. And you too. Bye for now. All right, let's take some comments. Atlas, is it almost impossible to get you guys to respond? Rab's Veggies. Rab's Veggies is furious right now because you can't sit and see opportunities fly past. Atlas, say something. Rab's Veggies, what you can do is just send, type your name down. Good thing we're able to attract their attention in this small community that we are, which is fine. So sometimes they just attend to our needs directly from here. That's part of the perks that we get for being in such a wonderful community. Louisa Oge says, when is a good time to dump a stock? What do you look out for? The word dump there is very serious. Okay? When I see a decline in the revenue growth, sometimes you see a decline in revenue between 2 years and you can easily tell why. And if it's an acceptable situation, based on your understanding of the company, you go ahead to keep that stock. But when you see revenue decline, return on invested capital decline, return on equities decline, things are just dropping, it will start showing from the reports. Then it's time to take your exit. Even if you decided that you were going to continue to stay for the long haul, right? You don't want to be caught unawares. And so there could be a reason why you bought a stock, and that reason is that you want to go long term, and then all of a sudden, the stock is misbehaving. Even if, what I'm saying is, even if you had a long-term plan for a stock, but it's not going the way you originally planned for it, what do? You start jumping ship. I guess that's the dumping that Louisa Oge is talking about. So that's my response to that. Apart from any short-term, trading stocks that you bought or swing trade stocks that you bought, in the end, you are looking to make money. And if they are not satisfying your criteria for picking them, because eventually, when you start detecting those things, it will start reflecting in their capacity to pay dividends. And their capacity for dividend payment or sustaining the dividend payment will begin to depreciate. Now, keep your eyes closed. The very tactical management may even be tempted to dip their hands in the general reserve of the company to pay dividend. When a company starts doing that, you know all is not well. They may do it as a one-off stopgap measure to ensure they pay a specific amount of dividend or at least match their previous dividend. But when you see them do it consistently, then you know there's a problem. It means they are not meeting up again, but they want to continue to sugarcoat their performance by paying the same dividends. And the depletion of your general reserve means you are almost like somebody who is eating up their savings, and that means anything can happen and the big business will be in trouble. All of these things you can find from the annual reports. That's why the 5-year annual summary report of companies is very important. You will find that towards the end, the last few pages of the full annual report. That's where you go to see how what happened in the last 5 years, if there is consistent growth or not. I hope this clears that question. Very intelligent one there. Thank you very much. Okay, next on the line is Philip. Let's hear from Philip. While Philip is trying to join, Thomas is asking, do I join the club, coach? Why not? Feel free. Just send me a DM on Instagram. The Net Worth Investors Club, we are on Discord, and we are very particular about the cybersecurity and safety of club members. And that is why you can only get the link from me. And even if you get it and share it, after a while, it expires. That is so that somebody doesn't come from nowhere to barge in and start spamming the place or chasing people around. We have had incidents where some people come in my name. They create an account, use my face, and go after unsuspecting club members to lure them away and collect money from them. Please, please, please. That's why I say, I will not follow you first. I will not DM you first. In fact, I will not follow you. You will be the one who follows, and you are the one who sends me a DM. So anybody coming into your account, your DM in my name is a thief. Please run. Because I have too many things to deal with, and I will not now start looking for whose DM to enter part-time. There's no time for that. So the way you know is you are the first to contact me and I respond, then you are sure. Otherwise, they've crafted all kinds of means using my pictures, and I've changed my DP severally. They keep doing it. So be safe, never part with your money, and that's the reason why it's a do-it-yourself club. Remember, it's Net Worth Investors Club, not Net Worth Investment Club. It's not an investment club. We are not pulling money together to invest. We are individual investors, just coming together to share knowledge, leverage on the experiences of members, as everything is shared publicly in the group. So you can come in, ask any questions. In case somebody is lying to you, make sure it is in public so others can see and tell you. Just in case you want to know about how you want to make a decision on which broker to use, you can ask questions. You have any other question regarding, even if I'm not there, we have competent executives and members who are very happy to help you. That's what we're all about. Okay? All right. Next caller on the line. We couldn't get Philip, so we go on to Official Mobos. Coach, so if you want to join Net Worth Investors Club, search for me on Instagram, send a DM. That's where I respond to such DMs. TikTok is overloaded. I told you I'm not looking for multitudes of followers. I'm just looking for few people who will receive information, run with it, and come back and tell us about their results. And we're really doing great by so doing. Please, how can we get the Discord app? Kindly share your Instagram account for the DM, please. All right, I think I can do that also here. My Instagram handle is at Wealth Coach Omiete. Okay, at Wealth Coach Omiete. The same handle on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. YouTube. That's it, right there. So follow me on Instagram. Send me a DM. If you are here on TikTok or anywhere and you're not following me on YouTube, just go there and subscribe. It's all free. Remember, I'm still working on that project where we begin to develop investment content that will appeal to children. Now, remember, it's generational wealth we are creating here. So what that means is you won't build, suffer and build, and when your time is up, maybe you are 105 years old, and you decide to depart, then your children come not knowing nothing about investing and just destroying everything. No, that's not the generation we are raising here. We are raising generation of generational wealth creators. That's what we are. So that's why you will hear we have started opening stock brokerage accounts for our children, even when they know nothing about stocks. Because you can now open a minor account and be the administrator. It's tied to your account. You start investing for your children. Listen, children are not burdens. Let's stop treating them as such. They are a gift from God, and we only need wisdom. Apply the requisite wisdom, and you won't see them as burdens. For instance, see the kind of money you are making within months. Imagine a child is born today and you invest in that child from now. By the time the child grows to 18 years old, anywhere in this world a child needs to obtain tertiary education, that child can do it based on what you have invested. So it's not difficult, and children actually give us sufficient time and information before they arrive. That's why I look at men who look surprised that their wife is giving birth and they now need help everywhere, running helter-skelter for hospital bills and all that. This child started giving you pre-information 9 months ahead of time. I am arriving. They first signal the mother. She misses her period. She begins to have all sorts of difficulties. Her entire system is upset. You go and check, it's pregnancy positive. And then notice has been given to you. 9 solid months you are doing nothing about it, only to appear to be taken unawares when the child arrives. That's not fair. And then when they are developing, they still give you time. It takes them time to grow. But you know what? Before your very eyes, they grow up and become adults. So what were you doing when they gave you that announcement and came into the world as toddlers? That's the point. Get prepared, guys. You all get prepared. Children are not a burden. So as we build wealth, we will find a way to incorporate them into it. Listen, there is no devil called your village people that can stop the kind of wealth we are building. Can I tell you, I am not alone. We are a spiritual force on a mission to destroy the hold of ignorance about wealth creation and poverty from as many as are interested to get out of poverty. And it doesn't matter how much you earn per month, right? Because what you earn does not matter. What you do with what you earn is what matters, because over time, the results will start showing. Whether you earn 1 million, 2 million, 5 million a month, what matters is what you do with what you earn. I hope somebody is getting something here. Thank you very much. If you are getting something really, now type yes, 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 yes. Okay, coach, is it good to buy McNichols? They've asked me severally about this stock. Unfortunately, I've not been able to really do any kind of research because of too many things drawing my attention left, right, and center. Right? So it's almost like I really can't do much these days. Time is no longer my friend. I don't understand. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, I see your yeses there. Come on now, YouTubers. Let me see your yes if you can hear me. All right, very good. That's how I also try to confirm if I'm being heard, so I don't just keep talking to myself. So sorry, Instagram community. Your comments do not scroll, so it's difficult to really respond. We never saw this coming for UBA, full bid. Coach, we are in money, lofty hill crown. You see that? I told you we are making money this year. All right. Please, I bought it for short term. What's that about? Rachel, I didn't get that. Jai's Bank is going, oh, okay, Splashy J. Looks like every time we mention a stock here, it starts jumping. Let's see what's happening with Jai's. Wow. ICO Insurance full bid. 2 naira 10 kobo per share. No money should be left idle in your account at this point. Go ahead and smash everywhere and make your money. Ladies and gentlemen, not a financial advice. Please do your due diligence. All right? And it's not for fun, please. Let's see what's happening with Jai's. I need to give you that update right away. Jai's Bank 3 naira 24 kobo as we speak. Okay. As long as you are investing in the long term, you have no fear whatsoever. Jai's will deliver. The insurance industry is waiting for the bill to be assented to by the president. When that happens, the sector will explode. Hold your bags of insurance stocks. It's worth the wait. Akudo Oyido, thank you very much for that update. Is Aiko a good buy now? Just joining the live. Abati Lanre, where have you been? honestly, where have you been? AICO kept trading at 198, 195 today until most recently it fired up above 2. And now, for the first time ever, AICO Insurance is on full bid. Can you believe that? Can I tell you this? The more people get exposed to the market, the more opportunity for you who is already in the market, because they will come in with fresh funds, chase these stocks that you have bought very cheap. And that's why when I tell people I bought NACO 9 naira, it's now 97 naira. I bought UBA 7 naira, and people thought it was so long ago. Well, you heard from Dozier's testimony. If you have not watched Dozier's testimony, go on YouTube, it's there. Dozier also bought UBA at 7 naira. This same UBA 7 naira is now worth 40 naira. And is on full bid as we speak. Now, what that means is 3 years ago, if you bought UBA at 7 naira per share, with 7 million naira at that time, you would have bought about 1 million shares of UBA. 7 million naira. And then after that, today at 40 naira, you can offload everything and you will gather 40 million. Your 7 million naira is now 40 million naira. If you decide not to sell, it keeps appreciating every time UBA stock goes up. But guess what? Apart from that, UBA paid a total of 5 naira per share dividend, meaning your 1 million shares fetched you 5 million naira in 2024 financial year, because they paid interim dividend of 2 naira per share last year, meaning that 1 million shares, you received 2 million naira for it. And then when they paid the final dividend in April this year, they paid 3 naira per share, meaning another 3 million. So total 5 million naira in one financial year for a stock you bought 7 million naira. So your dividend in 1 year is almost, your capital in 1 year is almost realized from dividend. Now, keep that aside. If you sell today, that 7 million naira is worth 40 million naira. Tell me what other investments can give you the level of peace that this can give you. And by the way, you are not running helter-skelter, jumping up and down, traveling from here to everywhere, running every day and night. You are in one cozy office, just working on your system. By the click of a button, things are happening. Oh my God. Tune Tension says, can we buy UBA, sir? Well, who am I to say you can't? The only problem is, I wish you were saying this long time ago, because at that point, you could have bought UBA enough. Now that UBA is this expensive, the question is it okay to get in now? That's the question. UBA 39 naira 60 kobo, no offer whatsoever. Right? Okay, so that's the situation right now we're in. Let's see how we make progress. Next caller on the line. Hello. Don Stanley, you can buy Champs, but the unfortunate thing about it is that Champs is now 3 naira 2 kobo, 0 offers. Official Mobos, are you there? Sorry for keeping you that long. I got so passionate about what I was talking about. Go ahead. A very good afternoon to you. Please go ahead and tell us your name and where you're streaming from. Mobos from Lagos, thank you very much. Go ahead. Well. What I think, it's up to you right now. I think you have developed some level of knowledge to really decide. How patient are you? Aradel is not a stock you sell for a Jais. You know why? If Well, well, well. At this point, you may proceed with your plan. Just have sufficient patience for Jais when you get in. I think that's it. That's it. Thank you. Actually, because he doesn't miss anything, he already has Aradel. He wants to top up, but he just sees an opportunity. And if he has sufficient patience, that move will pay off. So, to the best of my knowledge, this is not a financial advice. Please do your due diligence. All right, OVN success. I think you tried calling yesterday, and looks like you're amongst those callers I couldn't reach yesterday because of time. So let's go ahead. 9 minutes more. It's so interesting. It's almost looking like 2 hours is no longer enough. Go ahead. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from. Are you there? Hello? Okay, we do not have the time and luxury for this, so we proceed to the next caller. Abuja Baker. Let's hear Abuja Baker. We have just 8 minutes more. We lost Abuja Baker there. The Otumba one, can you make it very fast in 1 minute so we can take as much as possible before we are timed out?
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from, and let's fly.
I'm Otumba from Lagos, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you for what you thank you for all you do, sir. Sir, with this stuff flying around, I don't know. I have some new phones. I don't know. I don't want to chase this flying stuff. Maybe you can advise me on where to put this money.
Okay. You don't want to chase, but you need advice.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's serious. We are looking for where to put money right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I have some of this stock already, but I have some new stock too.
Which of the stocks are you looking at buying?
I don't know if I can go for this Jais as well. More cement. Maybe access code. Maybe there's something there. Winning, I don't know.
I think Bua Cement still has time for you to get back in. What about TIP? Is somebody on their system? Can you check what the bid and offer status is for TIP?
Okay, I can go for that.
Check
Okay.
TIP. As far as it remains under 10 naira, just buy 9.99 whatever. Just buy TIP.
Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, next caller. Musings and insights. You are next.
Hello, Coach. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I wanted to just find out at what point do you start taking profit when you see your stocks going up? Because sometimes you leave it in there and then it goes up and it comes down. And if you want to sort of preserve your capital, at what point do you then take some profit and leave maybe the big lump in there?
When you feel satisfied, especially in a bull market like this, take in your profits and chill. And perhaps look for stocks that are not yet moving. That's how to play the game, especially if those stocks are your swing trade stocks or short-term trade stocks. But if you have bought some stocks for dividend income purpose, then you should calm down and leave them out of this profit taking.
Yeah, because for example, my chance has gone up, and so I could take some of that money and put into maybe QTs or tapes. So I was just thinking, maybe watch it, because I can see it's gone up considerably. So just thinking along those lines.
Interesting stuff. Have you ever been tempted to hold on a while and see how high it goes, even though tomorrow is Friday? But I think you can do this. Sell off 50% of what you intend to sell and watch to see what happens, because the bull is just starting in the market, and you also don't want to be left regretting jumping out too early. You've waited a while. I know how long charms.
You're right, Coach. Because yesterday when I looked at what went up, and now this one I was thinking of selling. I've looked this afternoon and it's gone way more. So
Exactly.
if I sold yesterday, I would have lost.
You would have lost. And by the way, as we speak now, QTix is on full bid. So you could find yourself in a situation where you jump out of a stock that is also on full bid, only to come and start queuing for a stock that is on full bid as well, and then get lost holding your money in your hands. So it's really not the right time to sell now. Maybe tomorrow you watch and see, and if you like, then 50%, and then you hold on to see how the bull progresses. Because usually, when the bull is attacking like this, the bears will come fighting as well. All right, enjoy the ride.
Thank you.
3 minutes to go. Whose call do I accept now? Prudent. Let's see. You are the next on the queue. I'm so sorry. A lot of comments are standing by now because of the so many activities going on in the market. Hello, are you there? Don Stanley says, can I buy ICO? Well, you can buy. In any case, it's gone up. Derek, you are next. Doesn't look like Prudence is aware she's on call. Hello, Derek. 3 minutes to go. What do we have? 4 million ICO transaction done. 2 naira 10 kobo per share, all at once. The market is on a boil right now. Zenith Bank, 63 naira per share. Awesome. And then this is where stocks like Sterling Bank will start trying to gather momentum. But for those of them who try to manage to pick up at times like this, you want to exercise a bit of caution and know that perhaps it's a short-term trade or what have you. We are waiting for Zenith too. I can't wait for Zenith to be on full bid. Today, we will rock it till 100 if it does. Lofty hill crown. Interesting, right? Hello. Very good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Okay, my name is Alex. I'm calling from Abuja.
Alex from Abuja, it's good to have you. Go ahead.
Yes, we're out of time. So I want to say I actually listened to your take on Elalek. Last time we spoke, I talked about Elalek. Today the price is
It's something else. It's define logic.
yes, good. You have 2 quarters remaining in the year, and then I want to ask you what's your take for FCMB, because I really want to why FCMB since they've joined the Fuga Plus.
Now, let me tell you, usually when the bull comes like this, it doesn't respect what others were thinking about a particular stock. Wow. All of this is happening and Fidelity is still at 20 naira 20 kobo. Come on now. That's a very good price to get into a very good stock. Fidelity 2020, that's awesome. Anyway, we go ahead. So I was saying that if this bull run is sustained, every stock will benefit. But you just have to be sure what you want to do. And if you feel that you want to stay long in FCMB, the fact remains that Nigerian banking stocks particularly, and the NGX generally, is going to gain some level of international attention with what has happened with the listing of GTCO in the London Stock Exchange. And for that reason, you can go in on any of these stocks and just realize some very comfortable gains. It's just a matter of time. They will all pick up and join if the bull run is sustained. So, if you have a conviction to go in on FCMB, maybe why not? Are you with me, sir? Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2 p.m. Sadly, we are at that time when we come to the end of the live stream. Interestingly, we've had a fantastic day. Stocks are flying. I've not even had enough time to really deal with some of these things, but can I tell you this? Opportunities abound in the market. And if you are anywhere you are in the world and you have been ignoring the Nigerian market, you are the biggest loser, because even foreign portfolio investment keeps running into the market. And as you can see, the results are beginning to tell. Congratulations to everybody who is a member of Net Worth Investors Club and this community. We will not stop no matter what it is. We will keep coming out here to ensure that what we've been enjoying, you all get it. Now, if you missed any part of this session, especially members of our club who are in the US and Canada, due to time difference, you could do well to go on my YouTube channel, because the full video is already going to be waiting for you there on the live column. Just go ahead, watch, and take notes and pounce tomorrow. I'm looking at, if the bull continues, stocks like Sterling Bank, FCMB may just pick up. Access Bank will also pick up, just like First Bank will do. That's in the banking sector. Not forgetting Jais that churned out a fantastic full year 2024 result. Still so cheap at 3 naira 15 kobo or thereabouts. In any case, it looks like it's gathering steam. Tomorrow is going to be very decisive, because Fridays are always known for investor apathy in the market, seeing its weekend, and not much to look forward to. In any case, a lot is still about to happen for anybody who is really, really interested in making money in the stock market. By the way, the big guns have not yet shaken or made a move yet. They are all watching the small ones jump around. And hopefully, if we experience a full-blown bull run in the Nigerian market, we are in for a fantastic ride. You know what? Dangote Cement, Bua Cement, the big guns are just standing by and watching. Maybe when we are done with these ones, we will be timely enough to target them and get in there. Thank you very much, Maobi. Even if I could not find my footing to bring you on board, I can see all the work you are doing far away from where you have gone to do your business. You are really highly appreciated. I want to also appreciate Atlas Portfolios Limited for coming in to also attend to some of our challenges. And of course, everyone who has liked, shared, and given gifts in this live stream, thank you so very much. You are highly, highly appreciated. Thank you so much for all you do. Let's do it again and get many more people out of the poverty line. Tomorrow again, same time, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Nigerian time, we'll gather again to see off the last trading day of the week. It's been buzzing all over the NGX, and I really, really congratulate you for keeping up with the pace. You are the best, because you learn from a distance, you do it yourself, and then you see the results in your pocket. That's my joy. That's my fuel. That's my reward. Thank you very much. If you want to open a brokerage account, follow me on Instagram at Wealth Coach Omiete, and then go and subscribe for the YouTube channel for free. And then we do it all over. I will be sharing a whole lot of information on all my social media platforms. I'm not able to do it everywhere at all the time, so wherever you follow me, you will get the updates. Unfortunately, because of how powerful the Nigerian capital market has performed today, powerfully today, I'm not able to even pay attention to the US market. But go ahead and do what we do, and tomorrow we meet again. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and from me, it is bye for now.